What's going on, everyone? Today's video, I thought I'd kind of dive into the Evil Dead franchise on the 4K formats, and of course discuss a little bit of each film, and I would rank them actually. I got introduced to the Evil Dead franchise when I was in high school. Saw it with my buddies, and a few of them were obsessed with the Evil Dead. A lot of them were big fans of Army of Darkness. Um, Watching those three films with my friends and everything, I just became more of a fan of the original. I really like the horror aspect of the first one. Uh, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, is a little bit of mix of horror and comedy, and goes a little bit closer towards comedy, which is totally fine and everything. It's just I prefer a little bit more scarier films and everything. Um, yeah, so I thought like I said, I'll go into each movie on the 4K formats, and show you some of the cool releases that I personally have. Yeah, let's kind of dive into it. So the first one uh, is actually a combo of Evil Dead, the Evil Dead, and Evil Dead 2. This is a Lionsgate release from a few years ago. This is out of print, but the way to get this is through third party, so eBay, Mercy, what have you. But this steelbook is beautiful. Um, really love how it's just. I really love how just crazy and it is, and how it captures Ash in the iconic car as well. Pretty freaking cool. Um, yeah, so most people know that the first Evil Dead was low budget, and it was shot on 16 millimeter film. The 4K transfer was pretty good, actually. And from what I read, it was shot on 16 millimeter, and then it was later um, put on 35 millimeter, and yeah, so I think that's why the 4K transfer isn't too bad. It's grainy and everything else like that, but there's good clarity. Close-ups look really good. I can't complain because Lionsgate did a phenomenal job on the 4K transfer. Um, Both of these um, have Dolby Vision. Audio is also DTS Master 5.1. Um, it sounded pretty good. Obviously, I would love to have all my films to have that 3D immersive Dolby Atmos, DTSX audio. But the 5.1 sounded pretty good, and yeah, I think that, like I said, I love the first film. I love how creepy it is. More of a serious horror tone, and Bruce Campbell's kind of dipping into the character of Ash. Um, so the second one, Evil Dead 2, um, basically, it's kind of like the first one, and uh, there's more. I think why most people like it is that it's a little bit funnier. There's more iconic lines by Bruce Campbell and by the Deadites as well. There's great scenes. And that's one thing about Sam Raimi, is every damn film that he makes, there's always some memorable scene And so he's just a great director. Even the Doctor Strange movie he directed was had some creepy Evil Dead kind of vibes, tones. As you know, Doctor Strange waking up from the dead and everything else like that, and how scary the Scarlet Witch was. So Sam Raimi's a great director. Also see Drag Me to Hell. That's a great movie. Very similar to Evil Dead as well. But um, kind of going off. So yeah, Evil Dead 2. Great movie. Um, like I said, Bruce Campbell goes, you know, steps a little bit more towards the Ash character, and we all love it. So that's why Ash is an iconic horror character, just because how fucking cool he is. So yeah, that's like I said. Those are kind of quick reviews and what's all on the 4K of the first two films. The next one is Army of Darkness. This release was done by Scream Factory, and this is the steelbook for it. I originally got it with the slipcover. I collect all of the Scream Factory's horror line. All their 4Ks. I have all of them except for Skyline, so I need to get that one. I could do a little video on that as well, because there's quite a bit of them. So anyway, so here's the steelbook again by Scream Factory. This one's freaking cool, man. Even though that's Evil Dead 1 and 2 by Lionsgate is a great slipcover, and it's a pretty penny on eBay and everything. This is a badass steelbook. I love how Scream Factory really captured the tone of Army of Darkness. I mean, look at fucking Bruce Campbell, man. He's got a chainsaw and his boomstick. I mean, this one is hilarious and it's got some great scenes. There are some scary parts, of course, but it's a great film. 4K transfer by Scream Factory is pretty good as well. And all three of the films that I mentioned so far, there's good grain. And so that's one of the things that I like is good film grain, not too digitalized or DNR'd, which we know some of the labels will do. Terminator 2. So anyway, love the film. This has Dolby Vision and the audio is DTS 5.1. No complaints with the audio. I already touched upon the 4K transfer, which is great. And yeah, I thought it was a solid release and even a better steelbook. One of my favorites from Scream Factory. I need to get that Point Break steelbook. I didn't get that one. My bad. All right, next is Evil Dead 2013. Saw this one in the theater with my friends who, the same ones actually, the high school friends. So I'm very fortunate to have that type of long relationship with my high school buds. And so a group of us saw the movie in the theater, and some of them liked it, others didn't. I fucking love this film. I think it's a modern horror classic. And yeah, this one is directed by Fede Alvarez. So the first three films were directed by Sam Raimi. This one also has, in my opinion, top 5 best final girls. Fucking Mia, just so badass in this film. I really like the storyline of this film. I like how Mia, is a drug addict, and her friends are helping her out with remission and rehab and everything else like that. So you get connected with the close relationship between her and her brother, and of course, it's got the Grey's Anatomy guy in the film. I'm blanking on his name, but anyway, um, so the characters are really good. The acting's good, and obviously, it wouldn't be Evil Dead without its gore, and this one is top notch, best in the franchise. Amazing gore, especially with the unrated version that Scream Factory has on here. Amazing, man! Oh my goodness, the blood and the gruesome scenes, and at the end of the movie when it's just freaking pouring down blood and or just it's just chaotic. It's crazy. And it just goes all out, and that's what I love. This movie was creepy as fuck. Um, Remembering my movie theater experience, people seem to really enjoy it, and shocked by it as well, because just how at the time it was kind of extreme a little bit, of 2013 and everything else like that. I don't think movie goers were expecting that type of movie. So this movie's badass. I love it. As far as the 4K transfer, Scream Factory did an excellent job. I really wish Scream Factory had a better release. The basic slipcover, it's nice that it has a slipcover, but again, it's just a basic slipcover. This movie deserves a better release than that. In my opinion, it should get like that Arrow Second Sight type of box set, limited edition. Again, I love this film. So 4K transfer is pretty good. Maybe a little upgrade from the Blu-ray. I didn't own the Blu-ray, and so just having this on 4K was just a delight to see, with all the gore and everything else like that. Audio was 5.1 as well, so Dolby Vision audio, DTS 5.1, and no complaints at all. Side notes that Fede Alvarez also directed Don't Breathe. That's a great movie too. I highly recommend it. So a little sidetracked, but great film. And I just learned that he's doing the new Alien movie, Romulus. Didn't even know that. So anyway, so that is the fourth film of the franchise. Next is Evil Dead Rise. I double dipped on all of these films. I'm one of those type of people. And so about the regular, Evil Dead Rise slipcase and everything else slipcover. But I really wanted to have this film on Steelbook, and I elected to go with the Studio Canal UK release. I like the little things about this release more than the US release done by Warner Brothers. US release would have Evil Dead Rise. This clearly does not. I love the little cheese grater on the spine, and this right here, the Mommy Loves You to Death. Great. Open this up, and that has Beth with the chainsaw, throwback to the previous Evil Dead movies. So I prefer this one better, and also this one has a little bit extra commentary and a little bit, just a couple special features. The UK release also on Steelbook only does have some special features. That's one thing that kind of upset a lot of us, where when they initially released it, it was just a bare bones release. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. As far as this film, my original experience was um, I love the beginning. I thought the beginning of the film was very good. Um, Obviously, the title card and that whole sequence was iconic. It's got to be top five, if not the best card reveal in any movie. So once I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit, this is gonna be a good movie." And so, I the storyline is still meh. We don't really watch the Evil Dead franchise for the storyline. We kind of watch it for the gore and just the crazy deadites and everything that just kind of goes in it, and how are the people are going to survive. Who's the final girl, or Ash, obviously final boy. uh, but yeah, Alyssa Sutherland is iconic as her deadite role. She she was the best part of this film, and I don't she gets praised a lot, but I still don't think it's enough. Just how much um, she did, how well she did. So phenomenal acting by her. And then Lily Sullivan, plays Beth, her sister, and she played a good final girl. I still think that Mia is the best final person, um, in all of the franchise. That not might be a hot take, but yeah. So anyway, uh, so yeah, my initial reaction to the film when I saw it in the theater was that it was just okay. It was just okay, and I was kind of disappointed. Since then, the movie has gone up a couple or a tier in my ranking. I Since it's been released on the 4K format, I have watched it four additional times. Each time I enjoy it more than the previous rewatch. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know. Like, the storyline isn't that great, but the acting by Alyssa, some of the great scenes, the throwbacks of some of the previous films, um, it's just a great rewatch. I don't know, man. I was just discussing this with some of my Twitter friends from my horror fam and horror community. I don't know what to say. I really like this film overall, and which is surprising because my initial reaction was I didn't really care for it. I think part of it is the Dolby Atmos. The Dolby Atmos, I think it's the best Dolby Atmos experience I had last year. It's so fucking good. It's very immersive. The height channels, the LFE, the just how immersive the sound is, and and watching it in the theater, it was great. But at home, if you have the right setup, holy moly! I mean, that's part of the reason why we physical media collectors uh, upgrade our TVs and our audio system is for movies like this. it's just it's just part of the experience, and I fucking love it. Um, I mean, I just cussed a few times just talking about it. My bad. But it's so great. I highly recommend watching this movie in a Dolby Atmos setup. I can't state it enough. It's just so good. Like I said, I think that maybe that's why my experience has been so great, and why I watched it so many times at home. Just talking about it makes me just want to rewatch the film after this video. So I'm not gonna lie. As far as my ranking, I will go from last to first, and my last would be Army of Darkness. Even though I think this is the best Bruce Campbell Ash role, because there's so many great scenes and iconic lines. Um, I thought the movie was okay. Um, yeah, so that that's my fifth place. Fourth would be Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, good. Um, as you kind of notice, that my lower tier rankings is the ones with the more comedic taste. I know a lot of people consider Evil Dead 2 the best of the series, um, but it's my damn ranking, so I think it's fourth. Third place, Evil Dead Rise. If you would have asked me, 6 months ago, I would have said that this would be like dead last. But like I said, I watched it so many times since its release, and especially on the 4K formats. I just enjoy this film, and the Dolby Atmos has to do with part of it. It just does for me. So that is my number three. Number two is The Evil Dead. I love The Evil Dead. I'm really glad that it has that horror vibe, and um, it still holds up. It really does. Sam Raimi's the man, and so is Bruce Campbell. But I know how hard they fought to make that their original film, and there's obviously no way they would have known that they built a wonderful franchise. They made an excellent film, and it's a really good film. So that's my number two, is The Evil Dead. And you probably already knew, but number one is Evil Dead. As I said before, I think it's a modern horror classic. Has my favorite, if not top three favorite final girls. I think it has the best storyline in the franchise, the best gore in the franchise. You just kind of close your eyes and wince at some of the scenes. Like in the bathroom, holy shit. The kitchen. It's so yeah. Anyway, very. It's a very good film. Highly recommend it, and yeah, I can't say anything more how amazing this film is. So yeah, that's my rankings and my showcase of the Evil Dead franchise in the 4K formats. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.